The situation with host communities of oil-producing companies has always been dire. They have borne the brunt of the pain associated with the oil and gas industry. They have lost their sources of livelihood, suffered underdevelopment, and lost their lives in some cases due to pollution. Having suffered so much despite hosting these oil companies, the communities have struggled to be heard. This is one of the reasons why the Petroleum Industry Bill was very much canvassed. In September 2020, when the executive bill was transmitted to the National Assembly, a provision of 2.5% of operating cost of oil companies was made for host communities. But at the public hearings at the National Assembly, the host communities insisted on more.
10% equity share that will make us part and parcel of the business. 10% will definitely, not just 10%, equity share, so that when the government and the company loses, we lose as well.
At some point during the hearing at the House of Representatives, having endured so much pain all these years, the different host communities were involved in a brawl for their voices to be heard. While passing the PIB, the provision of the operating costs due to host communities was adjusted from 2.5% to 5% in the House of Representatives, while that of the Senate was passed at 3% amid opposition from Niger Delta senators who insisted on 5%.
We are talking about 5%. The 5% is not too much. You have headed this place very well. We admire your administrative style. We agree with you on almost every issue. This one is a very naughty one, Mr. President.
This is the Senate's explanation.
Law is not infinite. In 2 months, anybody can bring an amendment. I will look at it. There's no problem with that. But as at today, what is going to go to these host communities is 3%. And 3% translates to over $500 million annually. $500 million is a lot of money.
Another controversial area passed was the fund exploration of frontier basins, which the Senate left at 30%, while stakeholders in the Niger Delta had demanded that it should be reduced to 10%. Meanwhile, Chairman of the House of Representatives Committee on Host Communities is surprised at the development, but hopeful of the 5% after concurrence.
There will be harmonization. There's going to be a conference. I also believe that at a conference, whatever went wrong will be corrected. Because anything short of 5% will not sit well with the host communities. I can tell you that.
While the host communities had demanded 10%, he believes that 5% may just be fine for now.
I think that the feelers I'm getting, the calls I've received, the discussions I've had so far, point to the fact that the 5% is a good start.
While the hurdle of the PIB has been scaled, the communities must be aware that getting the allocation is just as important as how the funds will be utilized. Terry Ikumi, Channels Television News.